Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another podcast, Thirsty Thursday, and hopefully everyone's having a good week. I'm having a good week so far, so good. And tonight we have a buddy of mine, good friend, and he's been on the show a few times, I think now. And
Yeah.
his name is Devin. So, Devin, who are you? Introduce yourself, and what have you been up to?
Yeah, man. My name's Devin. I'm a security engineer at MSP, and just staying busy, working. Uh, doing the security thing, man. It's been a busy year.
Nice, nice. So, and that's definitely always a good thing to be busy and all that stuff. So, for a security engineer, right? Like we have pen testers on here. People do blue teaming. What is a security engineer at the MSP that you work for? Like, what does that entail? Like, in case anyone else wants to know what that is and what it's all about.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of a little bit of everything, especially for an MSP. So I do a lot of the deployment. So not so much like the level one, I guess a SOC would do or something like that. Not dealing with like the low level stuff, but I'm going to be implementing new services, implementing new security tools, doing the build outs of that, hardening of Microsoft 365, Google hardening, deploying and developing the phishing campaigns and all the training and stuff like that. As well as then the escalation that would come from, I have two guys that are underneath me that just look at basic, hey, phishing alerts or quarantine releases, stuff like that. And so, yeah, basically anything to do with 365 on the security side, a lot of the ATP, the anti-threat protection, stuff like that. And then, just new tool build outs. We do a little bit of, I wouldn't say it's pen testing, it's more vulnerability scanning, but, setting that up and deploying it and then reviewing those reports and giving recommendations based off that on changes and stuff inside the client's environment.
Cool. And yeah, you touched on something super, super interesting and critical, right? And vulnerability scan. Like a lot of MSPs say they're doing pen testing, but they're doing vulnerability scans. Why do you think that is, and how can that be fixed?
Yeah, so man, the how can that be fixed is the big question.
What would you recommend your company to make sure you're really pushing a pen test versus a vuln test?
Yeah,
Or vuln scan?
so the biggest thing there is the reason why they do it, I guess I should say, is they're checking that box, right? So that vulnerability scan, these companies that do this automated pen test, they've got this checkbox that says, this is the same as OSCP, or the same as an OSCP certified person coming in and doing a penetration test and all that stuff, when it's really not. It's going through basic steps. It's doing the automated process. But what I've found, like, especially with the tool that we use, when you look at it, it's saying, oh, hey, I can see this information. This may be vulnerable. I can see what's there, but it doesn't tell you like, okay, once I have that information, where can I move from there? So you're not getting that lateral movement once you're inside the network. It says, hey, this may be susceptible or it may not be susceptible, but I can see this information that I shouldn't be able to see. So I think the main thing is getting that hands-on person in there that would be that threat actor that can see that. That's great. If you want to run that and speed up the process, that's awesome. But have someone say, okay, now we've gotten this far. What can we move? What information can I get on this server over here now that I have this low level access? How high can I go? What can I poke at and abuse and all that stuff? And those vulnerability scans, they don't do that. They're just going to show you that low hanging fruit, which is great. That's what someone like you as a pen tester or a threat actor, that's what they're looking for to get their initial access and then move there. But that's the key thing is having that, okay, let's take this to the next level and really find out what's vulnerable in your system and then work backwards, close the low hanging fruit. But now let's go in and say, okay, now I want to block this, say VLAN segmentation or trunking. Let's block this from talking to this and X from Z and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's definitely some cool stuff, and I'm glad you explained that. And I want to like fast forward. Is that rewind? Rewind from like the last time you came on, right? Like now, what do you have in a game now? 2 years in a game professionally?
2 years, yeah, two and a half, a little over 2.5.
So for all the like I don't want to say newcomers or maybe even new viewers that didn't see your show last time. Maybe,
Yeah.
this is a whole new shebang for you. Like in 2 years, I knew I told Fernando, I told the person that I got you hired, like this kid is going to be like, he's eager, he's driven, he's hungry. Right.
Right.
So what advice would you, I don't know, my shit is like freezing, but what advice would you give someone that's, we're not young. You came
Yeah.
into it 2 years ago, so you don't have to reveal your age. So you were not 15, 16, 18, a
Right.
college kid that's just getting into it. And you did it, you're succeeding, you're getting to the next level. Now you have some folks, under you that you're senior. What do you think that what drove you to like that eagerness or that hunger, and how can someone learn as quick? Like what was the secret sauce?
Yeah, I think maybe some of it had to do. I knew, I'm an older person. I knew I was gonna have to maybe work a little bit harder. I'm not as young. I have a family. All this other stuff like that. It's just like maybe motivation there. But the thing
Hmm.
is just continue learning. Don't just stay stagnant. Find what you're interested in too, which I'm interested in a lot of things that I find out too. Don't focus too much. Like a lot of people they see and I know a lot of people talk about this, so I'm kind of being redundant, but pen testing is the sexy side of cybersecurity, and that's what everybody wants to do. Um, but the thing is just get your feet wet in all of it. Try to volunteer and don't go too crazy because work life balance is important. But volunteer yourself for these different projects and trying different things or learning new things. Like get involved, shadow people. Like, hey, I want to check out this aspect of it, and just try to learn those new areas because that's going to be how you're going to learn, and it's going to help you whether you go to pen testing or not. Because learning how an MSP or any type of uh, company sets up these systems just helps you in the long run to know where the vulnerabilities are. And so getting into that support area and seeing how that operates, that support field, learning level 1, level 2, because I kind of went through that whole chain. I started just as a level 1 support engineer for this company and then moved all the way up to advanced support and to where I am now. So learning kind of how that whole process works and understanding that and it's going to be similar for all companies. Obviously, MSP is a little bit faster paced than like an enterprise because you have a lot of changing technologies. And then again, also, I think I mentioned this when I was talking last time when I was just talking about being in an MSP because you
Hmm.
have so many different clients that have different technologies. While you try to align at an MSP and keep everybody with the same tools and everything, I mean, the reality is different fields and everything, they do things a little bit different. So you get that experience and having that experience and just being hungry and wanting to learn. I think that's key more than anything, and doing stuff outside of work too. Branch out, try new things, get your feet wet, try to break stuff.
Hmm.
That's the key thing. Try to break stuff, see where it goes.
Yeah, because I want to touch on this, and you can tell me I'm completely off track, or you're right, or whatever. I remember obviously when we met, you started helping out on Discord. We started doing Hack the Box, Try Hack Me at
Yeah,
nights, and just screwing around, messing around. And then I'm like, and the sexy thing, like you said, was pen test, and you're like, oh, I want to be a pen tester. I want to start
yeah,
hacking shit. Now, you're in a position. Are you like, oh, I don't want to be a pen tester. Like, I didn't know this existed. So like now I'm a security engineer doing security engineering shit. Fuck the pen testers. I rather this. Is this something that, I'm grasping, or is it like, just correct me if I'm wrong. Cause the reason why I'm saying that is because my point being is like someone can go into something thinking they know what they want to do. And then it's like,
right.
oh shit, like I didn't know this even existed because I was just always seeing, the anonymous mask in a black hoodie and going to hack stuff because that's what everyone's doing. But like not understanding what there's like TTI or threat intel or
Right.
like security engineering or blah, 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 the whole threat hunting, threat
Yeah.
intel, whatever. Like,
Yeah. No, I get it exactly what you're saying. I wouldn't say that I'm still like wouldn't love to have a pen testing job because that is fun. I do like that. But I did learn that I have other interests, I guess I
mm,
should say, on that. So
mm-hmm,
like there's a lot of other fields that I'm interested in and I really enjoy doing, like the threat hunting. threat hunting is awesome whenever I'm looking into, a technique, or I'm doing an investigation and I'm like, okay, now I want to go and dig into this and see what's this getting used for, see if I can't find any more information about that, as well as the cloud side, like cloud security and like incident response type stuff, like digging into it and doing like more of the digital forensics, I guess, on the cloud side, like digging into that with like doing some content searching and e-discovery inside of Microsoft, which that's a lot of what I do.
Like MDO, right? That's called
Yeah,
Microsoft
yeah,
Defender
yeah.
for Office.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, like it definitely has shown me that there's definitely more to it that I ended up enjoying more than I thought I would. But again, pen testing, you see that's the big buzzword. I want to be a pen test red team or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, once you get into it and start doing it, you'll find, I promise you'll find a few things that interest you as well. So it just gives you some more avenues too. And I'd say keep your options open, because learning and having your hands in a little bit of all that stuff, you don't have to be an expert. No one's going to be an expert on that stuff, but being able to do a little bit of it gives you some more avenues to pivot to if, you're looking for a job and something comes up.
Yeah. And I want to touch about like lab building, right? Because I remember, and the reason why I'm saying this is because we're going to go into, I'm going to write this in my
lab building right there.
Yeah, exactly. So like I remember when you started, you bought this, or you had this server sitting around and you installed Proxmox, right?
Yep.
Right. So I want to touch on that for a second. And because obviously this is going to get the conversation where I'm leading to somewhere, right? So Proxmox, why did you decide Proxmox over Hyper-V and VMware or ESXi for your type 1 pick? Like, did you do it because, like, what was your reason? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Like, what is your reason that you picked that versus others?
Yeah, so no, it was something that was different. I was just looking at something that's more open source, I guess I should say, that I could dig into a little bit more. It was free. I didn't have to do anything. You can, obviously there's ways to get VMware even back in the day and stuff like that for quote unquote free. But it was just something that was there to set up, and it's still a hypervisor. I mean, honestly, a hypervisor is a hypervisor. They all operate a little bit different, but they're doing the same type of thing. Your networking, your firewall, all your configuration is a firewall is a firewall, right? Networking is networking, that type of stuff. Main thing was it was free. It was easy for me to spin up. There's a lot of documentation and a lot of actual, I guess there's a big community around it because it was free. So there's a lot of support there, and it was pretty easy to get to. And my main thing was I just want to be able to spin up whatever I want to play around with. And so that's kind of what led me there. I ended up also, I would say, when you do get into something like that, don't limit it to just that one thing. Try to get your hands on everything you can, a little bit of Hyper-V, VMware if you can, because that's definitely helped. Like I deal with Hyper-V, and I ended up dealing with some Proxmox here from a client that we had that had it that a previous company that was taking care of them had deployed. And so I was the only one that ever had any experience with it. And it worked out. It was fantastic. They had a high availability cluster inside there, which I had never really done anything with high availability, but I had a general idea of how the system worked. And so I was able to get in there. It was a wild setup. They had JBOD storage for the hypervisors that were running on it and everything. It was a way more complicated setup than it needed to be nonetheless, but that's a whole rabbit hole I could go down. But just don't be afraid to dig into stuff is kind of what I'm saying. Just play around with all of it, because it's going to help you at some point in time. You're going to do something and then you're going to run into it and be like, oh, I remember doing this whenever I was playing around and testing. I mean, that's kind of why we do CTFs, right? To learn those different vectors. So whenever you run into, you're like, oh man, I did a CTF that had something similar to this. It's not going to be exactly the same, and it's not real world, but that theory's there, right? So like when we're doing like web app pen testing or something, you got the direction you need to go. Now it's like, let's tweak and play around with this to see where we can get.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And Lewis, so everyone in the chat, I will get to you guys, and thank you so much for the kind words. Thanks for what I do. I try to do whatever I can as best as I can. So thank you. I appreciate that. So the reason why I wanted to bring that up as well is because this weekend, or last weekend, I started on Thursday night after we're talking Rihanna. I wanted to do this project. like set up GOAD, Games of Active Directory. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want to have more of an enterprise Active Directory environment for some people that I know, that they can use open WireGuard VPN, so they can VPN into this and whatever. I want to set up all the networking for it. So, but I want to have it accessed through WireGuard. And with that being said, like I wanted to get this thing set up on my VMware workstation. So VMware workstation is called a Type 2 hypervisor. VMware ESXi is a Type 1 hypervisor, which resides on bare metal. If those folks, because maybe there's a lot of hackers or whatever, cybersecurity guys, but when it gets into the server stuff and the system admin stuff, I think some people can, at least I've seen some people don't know the difference between a Type 1, Type 2. But anyhow, so I just reached out to a few people on Discord and just the community. And I'm like, hey, like I'm having so much problems with this GOAD shit. This fucking thing is driving me crazy. I tried it with VMware, tried it with VirtualBox. I even tried to watch videos and that damn thing. And I had the power because everyone was like, oh, do you have enough RAM? I'm like, yeah, you know, because I wanted to deploy the full GOAD project, not like GOAD Mini or whatever. And yes, it gets deep. So I was like, okay, this is not working for me. And I think you've seen it when you came over the HP Xeon.
Your server. Yeah.
And I had ESXi on it. So like what I did, I reformatted it, put Debian 12 on it, and then loaded something called Lotus. So Lotus is another cyber range lab thing. And that fucking thing is gold. Like if anyone, it's called LUDUS or something, Lotus. And then within Lotus, you set up so it installs Proxmox for you. It does everything in a YAML file. So it's like all scripted and it's like, it's patty proof, if you know what I mean.
Patty proof.
Yeah, it's fucking patty proof. Like I need the easy button, right? So yeah, so I was like, oh, this is sick. So me and NeoFetch, like a friend of mine, we were just up for hours and hours getting like Exegol installed and the whole this whole thing. And I will be making videos on my whole setup, breaking it down, what I did, how to install it. Obviously, I'm not going to install it because it's time consuming, but I want to show you everyone the steps and everything. And I think that'll be pretty cool. And moral of that whole story is like, I thought, you know, like things can go straightforward, like documentation and, you know, understanding, but like going back to what you're saying, home labs, understanding networking, understanding how things are set up, and not only just like, okay, like copy and paste a command, like if it gives you an error of like, oh, unreachable, like this host is not reachable. All right. So like, even if it's like in your quote unquote home, if you're on the same subnet, when you're creating these labs, they create sub interfaces or virtual interfaces or whatever you want to call them, VNICs or whatever. So within these VNICs, it sets up a bridge connection for the VPN segment of our deployment, I guess you can say, because we're not at GOAD yet. We're still at Lotus.
Yeah.
So once this is all set up, and then you can, you know, get clone and you can clone up the GOAD and you set that all up. And man, I got to say, doing it that way, for anyone that's ever had problems installing GOAD the traditional way off their GitHub or whatever, and you have problems, I know a friend Miguel was having some problems, but he only has like 32 gigs of RAM in his laptop. So it's like he doesn't have a spare machine to install Debian 12 as a bare metal. But if you want to do this project, and I just want to put that out there, I want to probably explain all of this in more detail on my videos. But like, make sure you have a dedicated machine because it's a lifesaver. Don't try to do what's called nested virtualization. So you have your Type 1 hypervisor, and then you have to virtualize GOAD because that's another containerized system.
Does it run on Docker?
Yes. Yeah. You could do Docker, you could do Ansible. But yeah, it's containerized. But yeah, like it was a nightmare. It was really, really a nightmare doing it the original or the traditional way. But with Lotus, like that shit was a breeze.
Streamlined it, huh?
Yeah. And yeah, so that's pretty much my my lab story. And yeah, so any fun labs that obviously you've been super busy with work, like for anyone that's listening, like what would you recommend someone that's trying to learn, set up labs? What is your
Yeah.
take on that?
Yeah, definitely do it. Just do it within stuff you want to do at your home too. Like, I did a whole, Unify controller myself. Pick up some used hardware. Unify stuff's reasonably priced and used a lot. It's good. It's
Mm-hmm.
not bad. It's used in a lot of small businesses. Pick it up, build out your own network, play with VLANs. Play with understanding trunking and segmentation and build it all out and see what you can break. Worst case scenario, you reset it all and you start over. Um, do like a pfSense firewall. That's what I have at my house as well. It's all running right back there. But yeah, just get it in. I mean, like I built mine off of an old server, like an old, I think it's a,
Is it Dell?
super micro. No, I picked up a little single blade super micro.
Oh, really? You have to
Yeah.
send me some info on it.
Yeah. It was super cheap. It's just got an Atom, Intel Atom processor, nothing crazy, but more than enough to run a pfSense. It was less than a couple $100 off eBay. So yeah, get that, build it out. I've got Starlink also, as you can see up there, and I set my router as a direct pass through there, bypass, and so I'm doing all the management of everything here, and then set up my own access points. So start with stuff like that, like basic networking. I think that's a fantastic place to start because everything you do is going to deal with some type of networking, and you're going to need to understand how you can get from one area to another. And to understand how you can get there, you need to understand how you can get stopped from getting there. So be able to understand all that helps tremendously. I didn't realize that when I came into it. I was just, I need to do all these CTFs and understand everything there is to know about cybersecurity, but understanding actually how to implement some of this stuff and knowing what to do and how to build it out and why they're building it out this way is important too. And then, like Pat said, with the servers and that virtualization, standing up different types of systems, whether it be Linux and Windows, don't stick with just one. Do both because it's better to understand a little bit of everything. I'm definitely not a professional at any of them, but I have a decent understanding how Linux operating systems work and how to run a few commands, and I can tell what my IP address is, all that cool stuff. But just being able to stand up all those inside of your own environment, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like you can pick up these little Intel small desktop PCs and turn them into servers for like $50 off eBay. So those were great. This is what I'm running. I've got a Unify controller on another one of these. I was going to set up my Unify controller in high availability just to play with it in case one ever goes down. I have a second one, so that's why I've got this one here. So
Nice.
Stuff like that. They're super cheap. It don't take much. It doesn't even have to be anything this crazy nice. Find an old laptop that the screen quit on it and turn it into a server.
Yeah. No, exactly. Thank you, Glenn. Fix the crack. Help me with my
need them green teas.
yeah.
Green teas and pretzels.
Right? That's how you get jacked. But yeah, that's cool. So I want to pivot a little bit because what are we almost at the half of the mark? So like obviously it's been a minute since we really caught up, and so I want to talk about a little bit about burnout and like and I don't want to say mental health because I'm not really the best with mental health in the sense of like, I keep those comments to myself, but like burnout, like it's like, fuck, like do I, whatever burnout means to you. Let's see the guns, Pat. Chris, you ain't ready for this. Uncle Jason came over. He was over here last week before he went on his cruise. So my uncle, so he's my uncle's friend. Yeah, the MMA holes. Yeah. And congratulations again on the 100K, dude. Good shit. And what was I saying? Yeah, burnout. So like, how do you deal with it? Like, what is it? Do you think it's real? Like,
absolutely. For sure. The thing is like, I think the biggest thing, which sometimes or at least for the first year or so, when I was working because I was just wanting to learn. I was wanting to, prove myself, show that I was a team player, show that I was, knew what I was doing and all that stuff. Is just take your vacation. You get vacation, take vacation, go enjoy yourself, do stuff outside of computers, not even just cybersecurity, but computers as a whole, go out in the wood, whatever it is, whatever you like to do outside of this. Maybe you still, play video games or whatever. That's cool too, but take more time off than just the weekend. Take a full week, and don't feel like you can't take a full week either. Because sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'll just take a Monday and a Friday and Monday off and give myself a long weekend. Like, nah, man, you need to take full weeks at a time. Don't take them off to go to cybersecurity conferences either. Don't hopefully. Like if you're working for a good company, they should be, sending you to those things and paying for it. Like they want to see you grow. And so they should invest in you, right? That's the whole point. They should invest in you so you can grow the company and grow, what they're doing.
Yep.
Because in this field, not even just cybersecurity, but in information technology, you got to always be constantly learning. It's changing. There's new stuff coming out. I mean, so yeah, the main thing is take vacation, take time off, do some others, do stuff outside of work. I'm horrible at it, so I'm probably not the best person to speak on it either because I will work and work and work and work. And
yeah,
that's just how I am, and it's a pitfall of mine. But yeah, that's the key thing. And I'm definitely getting better at it. Taking vacation, be like, yeah, hey, I'm doing this. I'm shutting down at 5 today because right, a lot of stuff that we do, especially if you're more on the infrastructure side or something like that, you have to do it after hours, right? Because no one wants their business to go down in the middle of the day, so you can swap out a new firewall or do an email migration or whatever it is. And so I've done a little bit of everything at the company. I still do a lot of project stuff, so I have to deal with some of that after hours, standing up and building out a new AVD environment, whatever it may be. But just make sure you take your time off and do your me time, I guess, as I would say. Family time, if you got
exactly.
a family.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, FedEx? Hola. So yeah, that's definitely key. And I sometimes have that problem, like, yeah, hobbies. I don't know if Leon, if you asked me what my hobbies are, or if you're just saying hobbies in general, but yeah, definitely burnout is super, super real. And the way I deal with it, yeah, like you said, we don't have, I guess there is some woods around where I'm at now, but I'll, go to the gym and go for a walk, go, obviously I've been arm wrestling a lot more now than I was. So trying to compete now, trying to actually go out and disconnect and break some wrists. But
There you go.
yeah, it was funny. We'll talk about that offline. But yeah, just just disconnecting from what you do on a daily. Because recently, just with this project, right? I'm pretty good at disconnecting. Like Devin knows, I'm good at disconnecting. But when I'm honed in, like I don't know if Neo Fetch is still in the chat, but him and I will go on and on because he was me and him were working on this project together, and he built one out, and teamwork makes the dream work. So we just built this thing out, worked on this together, and it's I was so eager, and I was like, man, I'm fucking tired, dude. And we just kept on going and kept on on the weekdays, you know what I mean? All week and the weekend and the weekdays, it's hey man, last night we were working on some stuff and I was like, dude, I need to go to bed,
Right.
Good night, man. I just need to, you see, I just needed to disconnect, and I was really tired. I was really, really tired. But tonight we're going to get some Exago Pro going on one of my machines. And after that, after that, I'm going to sleep. Install hard. Exactly. Install harders for sure. Cause that project was install harder for sure. But I appreciate everything, Neo. Thank you for, hanging out with me late nights, messing with this thing, working on this thing together. So, we got it. So what are we at? A half hour. So we touched on, like you said, like conferences, like, companies should pay for it because it improves you. You get
Yeah.
the latest technology, latest attacks. You go in there to learn something. You can bring that value back to the company, blah, blah, blah. So that's one aspect of conferences. Like, what is it that people should know? Like, if you've been to DEF CON, you've been to a few B-sides. Like, if you're brand new to a conference, not to like cyber, but like brand new to like one of those massive conferences, like what is some like insight that you would give someone that I'm new to this, my first DEF CON? Like, what should I expect? Is it overwhelming? Is it like blah, blah, blah? Like, what is your take on them?
Yeah, it definitely can be overwhelming. Especially at the new place because it's a little bit limited. That was my first one. I'd never been to the one where they were still doing it, at Caesars and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they had a little bit more space for some of the talks. What I found out, I guess it was last year when we went, if you want to like plan ahead, if there are certain talks that you want to make that are in like, especially like the red team village, blue team village, some of those smaller areas, blue team village, not so much, except for I think there was a few that had some crazy lines. Because they do a line and they have like a kind of a capacity that they limit for those little bitty rooms that they got. And if you get there after they're at their capacity, you're just standing there. Like you're not getting in. You're not getting in. And if you want to get at the net, basically if you want to go to a talk, go stand in line at the beginning of the talk before that.
Yeah.
Like literally how long the line is there. So the big talks, like in their big, like I guess that downstairs area over there where they had the big open area where they do their big like main stage type talks, that wasn't too bad. They had plenty of room.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the more specialized, small, like I want to go see this particular content creator or somebody, doing some type of methodology, whatever it may be. Some of those like was a little bit harder to get into, especially like what I thought was really cool is when they did the phishing stuff there, the phishing simulation where they did the calls and all that.
Yeah.
It was hard to get into some of those. Yeah, like there'd be people waiting for other people to get up to go in there and sit down. So
the phone booth or something like
phone
that.
booth. Yeah, I can't remember what they call that there, but it was pretty cool. I watched that for about an hour or so. So yeah, just kind of plan ahead, know what you want to do, know when you want to go there and get there early.
Yeah.
But it's gonna kind of be a toss up this year. I don't know if it's gonna be faster to pre-order or faster to stand in line. Like last year, it seemed like if they had cash, they just showed right up and walked around everybody. That line was insane for the pre-orders of tickets.
Yeah. Like the Line Con.
Yeah.
The Line Con. Yeah. And it's funny because Myro, he was like, he never buys it, pre-orders it. Like I always pre-order it. And then, motherfuckers, the cash people would go out and get it way before us. I'm like, these motherfuckers, I paid for this shit like 3 months ago.
Right. Yeah, but, they didn't have a line. They didn't have a line. It was literally when I got in it, I think you guys got there before me. When I got in it, it was snaked all the way from one side of the conference center all the way up to the front and then all the way down that back hallway.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's some good feedback for, going to your first con, big con, like a DEF CON.
Yeah, and I went to RSA this year too, which is a more enterprise.
Oh, nice. So let's talk about that. I've never been to RSA, so
yeah, so it's completely different. It's not like a B-sides. It's not like a DEF CON. It's definitely real professional. I don't know how I felt about it. I don't know if I was too impressed. It was, and I know someone was asking questions how you felt about AI. It was really AI focused, like AI this, AI that. This is the new AI technology we got. Now there was some good AI stuff on there. Like I got to sit through a talk with the like chief security officer for Google that talked about what they're seeing as far as what adversaries are doing with their AI, like what they're seeing them actually run through it and stuff like that, because it's open for anybody and they're seeing them use it. So they were monitoring that. But yeah, it was a lot of AI, and there was a couple of good talks about securing, setting up, the fencing and actually securing Copilot and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just real professional and enterprise. Like I don't know if I would pay. I definitely would not pay to go myself. It would not be something I would just go pay out of pocket and go like I would for DEF CON or Wild West Hacking Fest or Hackspace Con. So those are all fantastic conferences that are more chill. This is definitely everybody's there in a suit. Everybody is super.
I won't be suited up. I'll be sweatpants and a t-shirt.
And it's in San Francisco. Yeah, and it's crazy. It was crazy busy because I I was definitely the least dressed, and I had a collar. I was wearing jeans and a nice polo, or I guess golf style shirt, and I was underdressed compared to other people. So
Yeah.
and it's huge, like it's massive, and there's a lot of vendors and stuff like that. More like you would see, not even like DEF CON. There's like no vendors at DEF CON. Like they had a whole floor that probably had 5,000 different vendors at it. So it was
Yeah.
definitely more enterprise and salesy.
Yeah. That is one conference I would love to like check out at some point, like RSA, like
Yeah,
maybe one day, just to say I did it.
San
Yeah.
San Francisco's cool. So I did get to check that out, walk around down there. And
Yeah.
that was fun.
Is that the first time out there?
Yeah, I'd never been out to San Francisco, so it was cool. Got to go check it out and see the Golden Gate Bridge and all that. So that was
That's
my
it.
biggest takeaway from it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely some cool stuff. And we'll get to some of those comments.
I've seen something about hookers.
Yeah, so that's a friend. Yeah. Okay. RSA is similar to Black Hat.
Yeah,
I'm going to Black.
sure.
I'm going to Black Hat. So
I
I
haven't
give.
been, but like looking in at Black Hat like last year, seeing how they had all the vendors set up, it looked super similar to that, except for like on a scale of 10, like massive.
Yeah. I'm super excited to go to check out Black Hat and see how that is and give my feedback. And yeah. So what time is it? Yeah. So yeah, conferences. My little advice for that is like, know what. So the first year when I went to DEF CON, I really tried to plan. I was like, hey man, like I want to do this. At this time, literally I had it like to a T.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out that way. I don't know. For me, it didn't work out that way.
No, I don't think it will at DEF CON because it's so randomized, right? Like with our RSA, not to like jump in with like RSA, you had to like pre-register to what you wanted to go to, and they had like a certain limit, so you knew if you were getting in or not there. With like DEF CON, you don't have that. Like if you got to get there super early, and if you're like I'm like you, I'm not standing in the line forever. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna stand in line for an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. Like to go on a fucking roller coaster. But yeah, it's like yeah. So like the first time I was like, me and James, we literally like planned out everything. Like, oh, we're gonna do this, that, and like no, it didn't work out. So the next year, which is last year, was like, oh, I'm not planning shit. I'm just gonna go in and just, obviously I volunteered at, we volunteered at Blue Team Village, which I'll be volunteering again at this year. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Blue Team Village and the Red Team Village. I'll be Blue Team Village. I'm not sure what day they have me on, but Red Team Village I'll be doing Sunday, helping out over there. So if you guys come through, most definitely like come and say hello. Or if you see me around, just say hello, and it'll be cool to catch up with everyone. And I really think going to these conferences is sometimes I think can be like intimidating for some folks because it's like so big and it's just like, where do I go and where do I start? But my advice is just do it. You know what I mean? Just go around, just go into the villages that you want to. And this year I have a friend of mine, a friend Alex, was sending me some because I forget to like look at the villages and stuff like that. But there's a list of villages I want to check out. And a friend of mine is going to be like an embedded system village, the one that actually built that Lotus, Eric. So, and there's some other folks that, I'm looking forward to see the person that created Exegol. It's just going to be, I think this year is going to be pretty cool. And, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to next week and we'll see what's up with that. So I think the last topic I had here was like jobs, but not like like careers in the sense of like, if you want to get into the world of cybersecurity, pen testing or whatever, cybersecurity as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk a little bit about your journey. We touched on it, labs and, connections and blah, blah, but like, what was it like? What has been, how can I say this? Like, what has been so far, like your light bulb that came off in your career so far is like, this is for me. You
Yeah.
know, it makes sense in my head, but I don't know if it makes
No,
sense.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think it's good. For me, it was just whenever I'm looking into something and it's not just like I'm on autopilot. Like I got started on something, I'm like, oh, and I just start like I can super get into it. And I'm having fun, and I'm like, man, I actually enjoyed that. Like it gets like the adrenaline pumping, especially when you're trying to dig through and find something. And I don't know, I'm kind of like I like to work under pressure type guy. So, whatever, like something's happened and you're like, hey, we need to figure out why this is. And then you got people emailing you and like, hey, what do you find out? What do you find out? Some people don't like that, but like for me, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, let me see what I can find out, digging into it and getting that adrenaline going. I think it'll be a little bit different for everybody, but that's why I like the investigation side of things. I think with, incident response more because the digital forensics, you're not going to really be under pressure 9 times out of 10 when you're given that. It's just, hey, dig into this and see what you can find. But like incident response, like I've been on a couple of those where it's like, okay, we got to react now, and that's fun. Like that, it's exciting. I think that's what, like on the blue team side of things, what really like piqued my interest. But 90% of the time throughout your day to day, you're not really, I'm just implementing controls and stuff like that. So it's not all that. So when that hits, it's like, okay, here we go. I'd like to be doing that every day. I'd like to be I'm the person that they call when they do that, but that's few and far between. Most of that's going to be the aftermath, right? You're not really going to be jumping in the middle of it. Hopefully whoever's there, they got a team that can contain it themselves. But finding that, like when that's the thing. Whatever you're doing, try different things. Whenever you get kind of like that excitement, or I had a hell of a time. Like this was fun. This got get me excited, or this is what I enjoy doing. You'll know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like what you're saying. I don't know how to describe it, but whenever you find that thing that you're doing, that you're like, man, I had a blast. You'll know. You'll be like, oh, I could see myself doing this, and it's a lot different from labs too. You're going to be doing like your hands-on labs and learning stuff, but you'll find out real quick, kind of like I did when I got into even just my level 1 type stuff. It's completely different than a lab. There's no lab or CTF that can give you that real world experience, but it will help you a lot. You'll have an idea where to go. You just be prepared to Google stuff, search things up, try to problem solve on your own, because there will be a lot of that. And yeah, other than that, it's just going to be, kind of your personal preference. That's why I say try a whole bunch of things. Getting in, if you've never done anything, getting in at an MSP, I think is fantastic, just because you touch a lot of different things and it gives you that experience. Most of the time, a lot of MSPs don't have like a dedicated security person. So all of the team is basically acting as a part of security and touching some of those tools. So that may give you that kind of experience, because originally we've grown quite a bit since I've been there. They didn't have a dedicated security person, and I was able to move in and fill that role. So that's always an opportunity there as well to get some experience in that side of things.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah. And I was going to touch on that. Like if you get it, into an MSP, if it's a smaller MSP, that they're just maybe, because where you're at, I remember they were so small, they just supported local, local in the city, in the tri-county areas where the company is at. And now look at them, they're like international, right? They do have like international stuff. So it's like, you never know, and you're growing with the company in the sense of like,
Right.
started from the bottom, now we're here type deal.
Right.
So it's like seeing that transition definitely is cool. All right, so let's see, like it's about almost 15 minutes too. Let's see, I want to go all the way up because I've seen like if you see anything interesting, let me know. I want to go all the way up and see what's
Yeah,
up.
there was someone asking, which I think it's probably going to be there like this for the rest of our careers, asking about AI.
You could throw it on the chat, if throw it in the screen, so
Yeah, I think I didn't even sign in when I jumped in here, so I'm not in my moderator screen like I
Oh,
normally
okay.
would. I just
Let me
clicked
see.
on it and jumped in. Where was that? I'm trying to find it.
Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, Lewis, this one. AI is just another tool, and it should be in everyone's toolbox.
I think he might have responded back, but someone asked like what you thought about like AI and how it's going to change things.
Uh,
What are your thoughts? I think is what it was. AI is just another tool. Thoughts on the AI boom? It's just below that one that Lewis asked. Like 2 questions down or below that one you threw up there.
From Leon?
Yeah, from Leon. Thoughts on this AI boom and how does it affect the
I don't see thoughts.
cyberspace moving forward?
I see this one. I tried running Azure Ubuntu
Like
server.
4 below that.
All right, let me see. 4 below that. Thank you for that, Glenn. Let's see. 4 below. What the hell is this shit? I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I can't see it. I just. I wonder if it's the same order over here. I don't know.
Well, what are your thoughts, Pat, on this AI boom and how it's going to affect cyber? There we go. We
Yeah.
asked the question.
Yeah. So I use AI every day, right? So
Sure.
I don't think it's going to replace per se. I don't think it's going to replace the human element. Maybe some like level 1 type things, like some like basic tasks, but like you're going to always need a human element to interact with whatever, because without that AI, without a human, there wouldn't be that AI, right? A human
Right.
is the ones that like created it, I guess. So, in all honesty, I think it's just another. I think he said it, like it's just another tool in your toolbox, right? Like
It's
that's
like
all.
Google, right? When the Google search first came out, everybody thought that was going to be like the crazy thing that was going to be the end all be all next generation thing to be able to find it. I mean, that's what I think of AI like too, right? It's just an enhanced search engine that has a little bit more to it, right?
Exactly. Like I never really sweat too much of that. It's like always just like I don't know. For me, it's a little different. Like I just go with the flow and use the tools at my disposal. If it's whatever it is, it's AI, if it's Google, if it's Bing, if it's Yahoo, if it's whatever the
Right.
hell we search in, like I'm always going to use whatever's at my disposal. Um, if you just if you know your worth and you know your your abilities, I guess you can say, like and have a true belief that you're not replaceable in the sense of a robot or of an AI, whatever.
Right.
It's just like keep your arsenal sharpened and just keep it
100%.
moving. Like I think at the end of the day, it's just another tool. I don't think it's going to replace anyone.
No,
Um,
for sure. I
you
mean,
know,
we have a kind of a MXDR tool that we use that leverages AI, but it's
hmm
just leveraging basically the AI to look for heuristic data based on what we programmed and told it to look at. So I mean, it still has to have somebody to tell it what to do, and then it's just going to pump out data to the person. It can act on certain things, but you don't want it necessarily acting on everything.
hmm
You're still going to need that human interaction, at least probably for both of our lifetime, right?
yeah,
That's the way I
ex-
see it.
exactly. Hopefully, I'm retired by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this thing is
What 30 years looks like? Who knows?
yeah, exactly. Who the hell knows? I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 30 years, but
I
uh, hope we're swimming with the gods.
That's right.
Um, so many MSPs don't even know what the difference is, and yeah, exactly from the stinger. Just I don't know if the questions on my end came in like all jumbled. Best budget friendly home lab for a homeschooler.
Old computers, man.
Yeah,
Find you some old computers. Is it your family got anything that's old? It don't have to be anything great. Just grab it, throws like Proxmox will run on anything.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And obviously, you have to keep in mind that your lab is going to be as big as your resources that are assigned or that are in the machine.
You
That's
can
where I was
continue to
like
grow
dumb
it
as
too.
shit. Like when I first started like VMware, like I don't know, when I did my VCP many moons ago, like I remember I had I'm fucking retarded. Like I had this server. I had like maybe I don't even know 16 gigs of RAM, and then I was like, oh, I can allocate more RAM than it actually has. So I can put it all the way up to 64 gigs for this VM.
How'd that work out for you?
It didn't work out. And this was when ESXi was 3.0. So this
wow.
was a lot. When did 3.0 come out? Let me see. I'm curious now. VMware ESXi 3 release date. Let's see. Oh man, it's starting to rain, I think. ESXi. I'm curious to see when this bloody thing came out. Now they're up to ESXi 8 now. Where's the?
Yeah. That's probably what, 2010, maybe before that.
Probably. I don't even know. If anyone knows in the chat, let me know, because I looked at it quick, and 2002.
2002. Oh wow.
2006. Sorry, 2006.
Okay.
2000. Yeah, so that's about right, because I graduated high school in 2004, and yeah, that's about right, because about 2 years after I graduated high school. So 20 years ago, I thought I can allocate more virtual memory than there was memory in the machine. So moral of that,
That's awesome.
you learn as you go.
For sure. Oh, I still learn something every day, man.
Yeah, no, likewise. Can you install Kali on your on that laptop? I'm not sure. You need at least 4 gigs. Yeah, if you have a 4 gig HP, you can install Kali on it. Kali's pretty.
You can install that on a Raspberry Pi. You can install it on a cell phone.
yeah. What is it called? Net Hunter.
Net Hunter.
Yeah. Proxmox is solid, fun, great learning opportunity. Yeah, it definitely is a great learning opportunity. Pat, thank you. Lewis, thank you. No, Proxmox is a software. Yep, Lewis, thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Appreciate you guys helping out in the chat. This gets deep. Blah, blah, blah. We finally got the job done. Yes, NeoFetch. We finally got that job done after formatting my server downstairs, and now it's not collecting dust anymore. So, Patty Proof trademark 2025.
Net Hunter.
No, Jorge is like Patty Proof, yeah, because dummy proof. So blah, blah, blah. Good documentation is almost as important as the software. Yes, NeoFetch, you are right about that. And they had pretty good documentation for Lotus. I got to say, like it was pretty spot on. Automation, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to see what else is here. Show up the guns. Chris. We got the. Yeah, I will. I'll probably talk to. I'm going to be going to New York soon. Chris, I don't know if Chris is still in the chat. But my dad had triple bypass surgery, so I'm going to go up there and see him soon.
Oh wow, your dad is?
Yeah, my dad had triple bypass surgery last month.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's doing good. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, that was scary. Black Hat and DEFCON have been my vacation for the last 3 years. I will be changing that after this week. Hey, exactly. Yeah, I was actually I was going to talk to Paul and Home and the gang. Like, man, we should do like a little, like an actual vacation, like a boys trip or whatever. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Like a cruise or
something
cool. Go to Mexico or something.
Yeah,
Amsterdam,
yeah, exactly.
Red light district.
Yeah, and hang out with the hookers, like
right.
But yeah, that's you're a drunk man. I'm always a better pen tester when I'm drunk. Yeah, and thank you. He also asked me how my dad was doing, so thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Go to the B-sides, blah blah blah. This is Venom. What red team project can I build ethical? Of course. Yeah, you can do the CRTO, the Red Hacker. I don't know if he's still there, but install Mythic, install Sliver, have a C2 framework, and just, you can try to bypass your regular MDE on your Windows machine. Or if you have a few bucks, you can set up MDE for, I think, $5 a user in the cloud. There's multiple ways that you can
Yeah,
do that.
I think like you bringing up like MDE and stuff like that. I think that's a big thing for people to focus on is the cloud side.
Mm-hmm.
I still see a ton of focus, which don't get me wrong, there's a ton of it out there, and you should definitely learn about Active Directory. But putting a lot of time into cloud environments like the Google side, basically, like Workspace and 365 and
Mm-hmm.
and that whole type of thing, I think super important. I
Yeah,
think
no,
that
most definitely.
not a lot of people look at that until way later. I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
until I started actually seeing what was in environments that I'm administering, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, this is where we need to start focusing, because it's going to be a lot less that you're going to see Active Directory environments and network penetration testing. Now it's more. I don't even know if it's really you can really consider that cloud pen testing. I consider it more of like a cloud assessment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to be reviewing what's there. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 1,000%. Hacker, what happened to my dad? He just had some heart complications and he had a triple bypass surgery, but he's all good now. Thank you. Yes, Sliver is okay. And yeah, so we're pretty much almost at the top of the hour. I built a C2 that can then bypass Windows 11. That's awesome. The Red Hacker, keep it up. And yeah, if there's any questions after the fact, vote in the comments below. Hit me up on everything else but LinkedIn, because I'm not on LinkedIn. I can't log in. But
What'd
that's
you
all.
do?
I don't even know. Like, I went to try to log in. I got a new phone and my MFA and got all fucking jacked. And I think from like LinkedIn Learning linked it. And then I don't know. I have no idea. But
Need to call
that
tech support.
yeah, Nicholas. Well, yeah. So yeah, that's it for tonight. I thank you so much. And if you guys are going to be at Black Hat or DEF CON next week, I'll see you guys out there. And if there's any other questions, leave it in the comments below. And I'll see you.